You can host VPC, which is going to isolate your network, so that let's say in the same data center, even Amazon Prime and Netflix host their content. The content is completely isolated, and then no one have access to each other. So this one service made most of the architect decision, like architects' life, more easy to convince the business that why and how your network is been isolated, right? So whenever you want to create a VPC, right? So I'm not talking about the default VPC which you would get in your account. Obviously, you would be creating a custom VPC. What would be the first thing you would do? Any idea?
Deciding subnets.
Deciding subnet, but one level above subnet, what you would do? Yes. So that's what you do, side up. Even though there are two IP category we have, right, V4 and V6, still most of the companies we rely on V4 because of the most of the technology are still not adapted with V6. They are a bit complex. So no doubt that you still see V4 in your company, right? So when you start with this, it's going to be like a 4-octet number. I'm not going to more detail about this CIDR and stuff, but then you will choose a number sum here after the octet, right? You will have 17, 16, and some fancy stuff. So I don't know why animation is not working, but yeah, fine. So I did choose I made an animation like zigzag, like a scroller. It's good. Ignore. So how do you choose the range, like 16, 17, and 18, right? So how do you choose it? Okay, based on the requirement that had in the slide. But then, so what range it supports? Can you choose from 8? Can you choose 10? What number that fits in? Right. So AWS can let you choose the CIDR range from 16 to 28. Okay. So being said that 16 to 28, the number of IPs you would get with 16 is going to be that this many fancy IPs, and 28 you get 16 IPs. Of this, AWS is going to reserve you 5 and then this is a question I asked, like how do you going to choose the range, and you already said it depends on. So when we said it depends on, based on what it depends, right? So it depends on the subnet, like how much subnet you would need, and then it depends on how many availability zone you would need, because the VPC is a region specific, and then subnet would be the availability zone specific. Are you guys aware about the term between region and availability zone? Yes, no?
Yes.
Okay. So region is going to be like a, let's say, a data center, and then like availability zone is a data center, then more than one data center would form a region for you. So let's say how to choose a range again, right? So let's say you want launching an auto scaling group, and then you want to have 2 availability zones, which means you are going to need of 2 subnets, right? So you need 2 subnets, which means it's going to depends again, right? Then again, what type of service you would need? You might need to launch only 4 servers in 2 subnets or 2 availability zones, but then the nature of subnet would change, right? Like one might be like public, and then if your nature is private, then again you are going to decide based on the factor of how much you would need. And again, you would need to know, like maybe like in the same private, you might be having the type of resource you would need to do, like Lambda or DynamoDB or number of EC2 instance. So you calculate the number of resource requirement you are trying to launch, and then you calculate where that would fit in. So from there, you would come up with a CIDR range per subnet, and then on the cumulative of all the subnets, what is the total you would need, and then you would step back from the VPC. Is it everyone clear? And then